Sarah Palin, and you're listening to Sarah Palin Radio.
Welcome to Sarah Palin Radio with your host, LaDonna Hale-Curzon.
Welcome back to Sarah Palin Radio, the Internet voice for Governor Sarah Palin. We first started the Conversations with Conservative Candidates series back in 2010, and I had the pleasure of interviewing Jackie Walorski, who was running for Congress in Indiana. Jackie just barely lost that race by only 1 percentage point to the incumbent. Now I'm happy to report that Jackie is running again for the 2nd congressional seat in Indiana, and she is once again our guest. Welcome back to Sarah Palin Radio, Jackie.
Well, good morning, LaDonna. It's great to hear your voice. It's great to be here. I appreciate the opportunity.
So there's been a few changes since the last time we spoke.
We have a redistricted district, like many folks around the state and around our country, and we picked up, we netted about 20,000 additional conservative Republican voters in this district. So as soon as the redistricting lines were solidified, we were already back in the race. We were long ago back in this race, but it really kind of redefined the district, and it puts us in a much better position.
Wow, that's fabulous. That's good news. How is this campaign going to be different from the last one in 2010?
I'll tell you what's interesting. In 2010, we were getting our message out, talking about the disaster of Obamacare, talking about an unbalanced budget, talking about, at that point, $15 trillion in debt and those kind of things. Well, Donna, the difference this year is as we go out to, breakfast coffee places and town halls, and no matter where we go, we have an educated electorate that has learned what we were talking about 15 and 16 and 17 months ago. And now they're coming to the table and they're telling us about what concerns them, which is the same issues from the same president and the same Congress.
Perfect. Oh, congratulations, by the way, on being named a young gun by the National Republican Congressional Committee. That's a real honor.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I really appreciate it. We've worked really hard. There is nobody that's going to outwork us in this district and in this seat. And it just that kind of an accolade goes directly to the volunteers that stand with us every day. There's thousands of them. We've grown our base. We've grown our donor base to almost 5,000 now. And,
wow.
We've got thousands of people standing to bring change and to bring an independent voice to Washington. So, we are moving forward quickly.
It's looking good. What other kind of endorsements have you gotten so far?
Well, I can tell you that, obviously Susan B. Anthony, group, they've stood with us. The Right to Life groups have stood with us. Concerned Women for America, Eagle Forum, you name it. The State Chamber in the state of Indiana, NRA, Governors of America.
Wow.
The rock-solid conservative core of the country has pretty much stood with us, and they're still standing with us.
Very good. You raised a fair amount of money last time. How's your fundraising going now?
You know what? It's going well. We will be over $1 million by the end of this quarter, and our money is coming 90%, probably 95% of our money is coming inside the district, and and so that's how we're building a donor base. Our opponent is raising 95% of his money from the Beltway. He doesn't live in our district, and he actually is bringing nothing but labor union PACs are sending money in against us in this race. So, if we get a chance, if your listeners get a chance to go to standwithjackie.com, that's our website. They can give online. They can check us out. Every dollar counts. And when we hit that millionth raised here by the end of June, it happens, and it's happening because people are giving $5 and $10. And, as you know, LaDonna, it adds up, and it accumulates over time. And all of a sudden, that's how you build your power structure and have money to get your message out.
Good. What kind of grassroots organizations do you have?
We have the largest grassroots organization in the state next to the governor. So,
wow.
I was a state legislator for 6 years, and I built a grassroots organization before there was ever a Tea Party name. And it was just, common sense people, Hoosiers, coming to the table to provide common sense solutions. And I was an independent voice in the Indiana House, and they stood with me. Well, we've just continued to build and to build and to build. So we have thousands of folks in our grassroots network in Indiana, and people make the other side, our opponent makes, cracks and jokes sometimes about, we have this army of people, and we really do, and I'm proud of them. And, as we've seen, when Hoosiers and when Americans stand up side by side and we declare that, this is our nation and that, it's time to bring common sense, independent values back into Washington, it makes a difference. And we've seen it happen all over the country where it makes a difference, and it's making a difference in this seat.
Yeah. Why are you running?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm running because, I want to be the independent voice in D.C. I was effective as a legislator in Indiana, and I saw the change that we could bring. We went from the bottom of the barrel in the country to the second now. Indiana is now the second leading state in our nation.
Wow.
Where we are leading with job creation, pro-growth, and pro-business investment climates. We have a AAA bond rating. All Congress in this country continue to go down the tubes. So we are second in the nation, only to Texas. And we've done that by methodically balancing our budgets, cutting taxes, creating an investment climate where private industry can hire again. And that's what has to happen at the federal level. So I wanted to get to the federal level to bring things under control like we did in our state and bring our people to the table because our people have solutions.
Well, Jackie, what do you think is the most critical issue right now in your district?
Jobs and the economy.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're hearing it from all over the country, LaDonna. Yeah. We're not hearing it from Washington. We're not hearing it from the president. We're not hearing about jobs and job creation. We're hearing about everything else under the sun. But, we've got to bring this balance under control, the budget under control. Have to have a balanced budget. We've got to, put some kind of a mandatory decreaser on this debt so that every time the budget is voted on, there's a 1 or 2% decreaser. Otherwise, if we're going to pretend that this debt is going to go away by itself, we're fooling each other. And I think we're going to see here over the next couple of months the demise of Greece and potentially the unraveling of the European Union while we are leading the world in debt and the instability in our economy. So, what the country's crying for is stability, and I think that's what we bring to the table.
Well, what do you think is the most critical issue for our country right now? The same thing?
It's the same thing. If we don't have a secure economy and if we can't secure the republic, we're never going to have the rebound in the economy. We're never going to see the manufacturing jobs and the kind of jobs that people need. We're never going to see that happen if we don't secure the boundaries of our economy first. And I think that's where most of the country is. The big danger that we see right now is getting people back to work and getting our AAA bond rating back and actually leading the world and not following the world.
Yeah. Well, what's the first thing you're going to do once you're sworn in?
Look for the authorship of the balanced budget amendment, and then secondly the decreaser of the debt. I just think it's key. We're not going to be able to do anything else. We can have lots of conversations about lots of issues, but if we don't secure the economy in this country, we're not going to be the leader of the world. We're not going to be the superpower militarily. We're not going to be able to hand to our kids the nation that we've had. And this nation's in peril. I think there's a 5-alarm fire in D.C. I don't think either political party is listening.
I've got one more question for you, Jackie. A couple of
Sure.
weeks ago, the longest-serving senator in Indiana's history, Dick Lugar, who is the most senior Republican right now in the Senate,
Yes.
he lost to Richard Murdoch, the Tea Party candidate. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I traversed around the district with both of them. I've worked with both of them for a long time, but I think that is case in point on where I think that's where America is. And I think we're probably going to see a lot more of that, where people are standing up together and they're standing up as Republicans and Democrats and independents and basically saying, we don't like the direction this country is going. Washington's not listening, so we're going to put people there that will listen. And I think if there was ever a mandate for that issue, it definitely came from that Murdoch-Lugar race.
Yeah. And Richard Murdoch, he's going to actually be a guest here on Tuesday. So his campaign really has taken off, and so we look forward to talking with him.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, there's great things happening in the Hoosier state. We're going to be leading this country by January. And there's no state better and prime location and condition to do that than this state, because we have the data and the facts to back up what we've done in our state.
Well, Jackie, we've run into the end of the segment. Thank you so much for being a guest today, and good luck with the campaign.
Always great to hear your voice, LaDonna. Thank you so much. And have your listeners go to standwithjackie.com and check us out.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Stay connected to Governor Sarah Palin at blogtalkradio.com/Sarah Palin Radio. Sarah Palin Radio, supporting Governor Sarah Palin and the ideals that she represents since 2008.